Hey guys, this is Speedy Turtle here, and welcome back to the new series on PvP tips and tricks. Now, before we start this, I'm actually going to explain what I've just, why I want to redo it is basically because I think when I look back on it, I've not really given the best information possible. Well, I could have, and I wasn't as good as PvP now and as wise as I'd like to say back then as I am now. So I'm deciding I'm going to redo it and much better. So today we're going to be talking about TexturePacks you can use. I was going to talk about settings, but I decided I'm just going to link you down to a video that I've done a few months back that will be much simpler instead of me trying to explain it in this video. And then finally there's the hotbar, but I'm not going to go into too in depth with that because obviously I'll go into like why I have my stuff where it is. And like individual parts as we go along for like flint and steel, bow, sword, and stuff like that. So basically we're going to start off with the texture packs. So I'm going to be talking about three, just like basically what you want with the texture pack is it to be smooth as possible, and you don't have to really think about blocks. For me, like when I'm going into a chest quickly trying to grab something, I want to be able to know what I'm meant to grab straight away, because sometimes in medieval texture packs you're not quite sure what the item actually is, so you really want to you just want to be able to see it at the corner of your eye and click it and grab it as quickly as possible. So basically, this is my custom texture pack. Now what I'm going to do is, not long after probably I'll make this video, I'm going to actually make a, I don't want to call it a fan Skype, but just a Skype where I can add more people just in general, instead of being on my personal Skype with all my friends. I'm going to, if you want to, I'll add you on Skype there and then send you the files over Skype for this texture pack, because this is my custom resource pack that I got edited by Alfie and Keenan. They both done different parts because obviously I needed to make it for 1.8, which is a very good point I just put in there. Now the reason I'm putting, I'm only doing these three texture packs is because basically, if you probably know that for texture packs in 1.8 now that were used in 1.7 and below, they are like kind of mucked up, so you can't actually use them. Well, you can use them, but they don't, some of the textures are mucked up, like skins and like swords and that, like how you can see like the 3D-ness of this, and before it was just a flat sword because it mucked up if you used it in 1.8. So yeah, this is my custom resource pack. Now, as I said, this is all smooth. If I go into slash game modes S, there we go. And I walk in the fire, the green fire, which I really like. This is really low fire, and now what I have for that is the fire animation off, so it's not actually moving on my screen, which causes less distraction, and it's just much simpler. But yes, as I said, all the things are smooth. Actually, an ice is melted up there, which shouldn't happen. I really like the enchant table. It looks pretty cool, but it's a bit different and might be hard to pick out. And why is everything going on fire? Stop. I'll just leave that to burn. But yes, once again, it is smooth. Well, actually, one more thing I'm going to point out. What I like between the differences of chests is that sometimes in survival games, oh, that's cool. Oh, wow. There's traps. So there's a trap chest, as you can see, as it just opened the piston. Basically, there's a difference because this is a normal chest, and then you'll be able to tell if it's a trap if you open the chest and drop down. So that is kind of useful at the same time, but it's also hard to pick out chests when you're looking for that color. So over here, we have basically the not all of them, but like some of the armor and swords and stuff that you'll mostly see in like a game of survival games or factions or whatever type of PvP you're doing. What about my custom resource pack, what I like is the green apples. This is a god apple, and this is just a normal golden apple. They're green, and then the apple's just red. I just wanted to put that in there to show you. But yes, for the bow, it's got, as you can see there, it charges up and shows you the different colours on how far charged up you are. And the fishing rod is obviously black, and things are just simple, and you don't want them to be too complicated, I suppose. So over here, this is just really random. I just thought of it, but this is if you're into that strategic play that I'm not sure many people are in. This is a tripwire, and it's easy to see, but I just wanted to point out that it's not always that easy to see. Of course, there's sometimes traps in SG as well, so I just wanted to point that out. And okay, so we're in, this is actually Toxic Waste version one resource pack. And yeah, of course, this again, it's not as like smooth and simple as it is, but it is still like I'd say it's still suitable for the look of it, because obviously it's not, obviously you can still point stuff out, and it's also a bit more detailed, which looks nice. Sometimes it's good to have that differentiation. Of course, low fire, that right there. All the stuff over here is still very smooth. I really like the axes in this pack. If I could change anything, I'd probably put the axes in here. The reason I'm actually gonna, in the link below, I'm gonna link you to Private Fearless's video, because he released these, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to release these, and I'd rather not risk that. So over here, you can, I physically like can't see till I'm about there, and I've actually already touched it, as you can hear. About here, if I was paying attention to what I was doing on the ground, I wouldn't be able to see that, and if it's on stone, I think you're screwed. So yeah, this has been Toxic Waste texture pack. This will be down in the link below to Private Fearless's texture pack. Just go in there. He's got like 30,000 subscribers, so it's not a virus, so I don't know if that's even possible to give, but it's not a virus or that, but just letting you guys know. And I'm actually changed this texture pack now, I'm sorry. I was meant to be using Private Fearless's Pug Life, but I just realised that isn't actually 1.8. For some reason he released it in 1.8, and he said it, I'm pretty sure he said it was 1.8 in his video, I cannot remember, but I apologise for that. But instead I thought I'd use Huawei's 1.8 kind of default pack. It's obviously got changed with the swords and stuff like that, which, you know, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but most things are either faithful or used to kind of the same things as Toxic Waste resource pack. Of course, sometimes it's quite good to have that kind of like darker detail to it, but obviously it's, you know, it's just your taste. Low fire, I can't even see the fire, so there's no fire particles. And over here, these are all the weapons and stuff like that. The swords are really just your call. If you like the swords, then fair enough, you like the swords, but I use it sometimes, and it honestly doesn't bother me. And of course over here for the strategic players, you still can't even really see that until you're right on top of it and you've triggered that redstone type thing. And yeah, so that is gonna give you a brief idea of the texture packs you should use for PvP, as like obviously, as I said at the start of the video, we don't really want to use medieval packs as for the things I've explained at the start of the video. So I'm gonna try and keep this hotbar bit short and sweet. Explain why obviously I've done it, because obviously I don't want it to go on for like a half-an-hour video. So basically, as you can see, I've got my sword in my first slot, flint and steel second, bow third, golden apples and inner pearls, cobweb and food all in kind of the middle. And then, of course, just to see my count of arrows are sitting right here. And then finally my fishing rod. Now, everyone mostly has their sword in the first slot. And I'd like to point out, before I go on a bit more about this, if you're probably going to click off because you're like, oh, I don't need to sort my hotbar, you do. Because you want to be able to, in a sticky situation, you want to be able to turn around and then get a flint and steel in, and know that it's going to be in the left slot. So, obviously, sword usually goes in the first slot. Flint and steel and the fishing rod, right? I have them there because they're the first things, if I'm going to need it in a defensive situation, they're going to be as close to the sword as possible, because I'm an MCSG player now. I don't tend to play on Hive, so I open my chests and stuff with a sword, so if I get jumped I can turn around and just attack straight away. For some reason on Hive you're not allowed to open chests with a sword, only with an axe or any other thing. So that just kind of mucks you up in your PvP, so if you get jumped you're kind of screwed. So as I said, flint and steel and bow they kind of have to be near your sword, because I use my hotbar, my hotkeys for my flint and steel, and then I use my scroller to get back and forth from our first and ninth slot. I've always been like a scroller type player. Obviously it's better to use your keys, but I've just been so used to using them that it's just become a bit of, it's more natural now. So yeah, And then bow, I've got it on the 3rd slot. Now, some people tend to have it like that, or some people even have it like, I don't even know what they have it. Some people have it like that. That's how what their setup's like. Now, like a bow, I don't want it to be too far away from me. That's the reason. That's why I don't want it like all the way there. I'd probably have my layout like that, but I just kind of went along with what I felt comfortable with. Obviously, guys, this is, you change it around like that. This is just how I find it easiest. But people tend to have their bow quite far away, but I don't use my hotkey to get to that either, which probably would help me a lot. I do sometimes if I'm like in a strafing bit, like if I'm like that, trying to dodge arrows and then quickly switch back and then shoot. But otherwise, like if I'm running away, I scroll like that and then attack like that. But obviously that's just your like personal preference. Now, obviously, guys, I'm not gonna go into any of the weapons this episode, but what I'd like, if you want to, which would probably help, it'd be quite interesting to see if you'd go away and then do these, set your hotbar up like this, and then try it for yourselves and see how well you can use it. Because obviously practice is going to make perfect, and obviously you'll learn from your mistakes. If in the next video you go, oh, that'd be much easier to have it like this, and then just try it out. Just try it out, and 9 times out of 10, the more you practice, you get better. I never thought I'd be able to use the hotkeys and then get a quick flint and steel in there, but it just become a bit of muscle memory now. So I'm gonna leave this episode off here. The next episode is gonna be swords, and then obviously I'm just gonna go down my hotbar and then go to flint and steel, and then I'm probably gonna go to fishing rod then bow, and then I'm gonna talk about some things maybe from Hive, about TNT and cobwebs and stuff like that, when to use them, but they'll all be in one episode. So if you've enjoyed the episode, then please support it with a like and subscribe for more. Also check out some of my other videos, because I do SG, and then you'll be able to see all the skill, because I'm a PvP god, I have to say. You'll be able to see all the skill live, basically. So yeah, I'll see you all in the next episode. Have a great day, and peace.